So I wanted to say happy spring to everybody. Blessed Ostara. I'm going to do a crystal grid today for spring. I went outside to the the garden, I guess. It's more of like, the lawn. We don't really have too much grass. It's more of like clover and like just cold, so cold and cold weeds, but it's what grows around here. And because grass is just really hard to maintain in Florida, so I went and picked a little whatever was kind of I guess blooming is what I picked. So these are clovers, and these are of like a little plant, like a little weed that grows out here. I'm not sure what it is, but it's beautiful nonetheless. So I'm going to use them along with some crystals to kind of do something pretty. I don't really have a concept when I do these. I just kind of go with the flow of things, if you will. So yeah, I'm not gonna do much talking in this portion of the video. After I'm done with the grid, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a reading just to see what good energy is coming our way, just to read the energy of the day, if you will. I think I'm gonna leave that one there. I actually like that. Okay, and this one, and this one. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now. You could just watch me do this and listen to the music. Okay, so that's the crystal grid. So everything I used on it is rose quartz, nephrite jade, moonstone, and clear quartz points. And this is a Viking stone, and yeah, so that is my my Ostara crystal grid. I think it's really cute. Um, I like it. It kind of looks like the orchids that I have here. So I'm going to start the reading portion of this. Let's see how it goes. I have a lot of oracle cards and one tarot deck here that I just feel called to as of late. And I have to mention this oracle deck. I'm sorry, this tarot deck is actually the one that I dedicate to my ancestors. So, I'm getting the vibe that there's like ancestral messages that want to come in this spring equinox for us here. And yeah, I mean, makes sense. We got our life and our some of us, a lot of our spiritual gifts passed down from generation to generation. Whether it was, utilized by our ancestors or not, it was laying dormant. It's still part of us, right? And spring is kind of about, I don't know, the creatures are co-creating, procreating, if you may. We are definitely creatures of this earth. So I feel it's kind of like ties into that as well. Yes, it's springtime. Yeah, look at that. Three of Pentacles, co-creation. I love this deck. I think it's perfect for this. All right, let's see. What is the message for today? Ooh, Eight of Cups. It's also the moon in this deck. Eight of Cups, interesting. You know, usually the Eight of Cups, it's not like this. The Six of Cups is the one that makes me think of something's coming back around, like a past life or something. But these cups being in a circle like this kind of makes me think of I don't know. And then, how I was talking about like ancestral and like things passed down from generation to generation. Does this not look like a DNA strand? All of this actually. That is interesting that is the message that's coming through today. Maybe some of you, even the eight is like infinity. Some of you could be experiencing that you could be tapping into some generational knowledge, or maybe some part of your DNA is being activated that was dormant before. And it has to do with your spiritual growth, because it very much feels spiritual. I can't say otherwise. But I mean, it could manifest for some of you in a different way, but it does feel like we are unlocking something as a collective here. Look at that, the Queen of Swords. So we might be unlocking, some kind of knowledge. That's interesting. There's some knowledge, some insight. That wants to come in for us. With the moon, it makes sense too. Something that was hidden, it's like the subconscious or the unconscious is coming to light. And I wanted to say how we digest it. That's interesting that I'm using that word. How we kind of decipher it is with our intelligence. But it also is the intelligence that you need, you have it because of it's been passed down to you as well. It's like you have all the tools you need. Look at that, the Three of Swords. Yeah, it could be something that was maybe in the past confusing, but now you have the sword to kind of, it's the deciding factor here, or not the deciding factor. It's like a the clarifying factor. There's an opportunity for you to kind of get down to the truth of it all, if you will. Interesting. All right. Another wheel. Look at that. But this time the Ten of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, I see the message. We started with a wheel. We're ending with a wheel. And mind you, we are starting with the Eight of Cups. And between the 8 and the 10 of Cups is the 9 of Cups, right? And the 9 of Cups is about wish fulfillment. But here, maybe the fact that you are gaining this knowledge, this truth, this understanding of something that has been passed down in your lineage, that is your wish fulfillment. That is your 9 of Cups. That is the next step forward. And then here you are in complete bliss. There's abundance. There is wish fulfillment, quite literally. And just a more harmonious way of being, if you will. Also, karmic cycles ending. Maybe you are ending some karmic cycles that brought you a lot of pain, and it's a time to be renewed, if you will. And the energy, and for this spring is supporting this newness that you're trying to get at. The bottom of the deck, the Ace of Pentacles, which again is like a new thing, a new beginning, a brand new seed to be planted, if you will. But this is also the World card in this deck. Again, something about completion and starting anew, which is very fitting with spring. It's about rebirth. You know, everything that has been dormant throughout the winter or has been resting, healing, trying to be understood with the moon, it's now coming full circle. The Knight of Swords, which is the fastest moving knight, by the way. I just like how this card is depicted as them holding 3 cards. It always makes me think of like, this is how you are being viewed, like the reader or the watcher, the person watching the reading. Very interesting. Yeah, it's like, I think we as a collective have gained a perspective, have unlocked something that has given us a seat at the table, if you will. Does that make sense? Look at that. The 8 of Wands, communication. There's that 3 again, another knight, death and rebirth, quite literally. All right. I'm done with this deck, but that's beautiful. That's a beautiful starting point. Let's see what else wants to come through here. So this deck is the Illuminated Tarot, and this is the Enchanted Forest. I just thought, you know, it makes sense for spring to be using this one too. Look at that. Yeah. This came out in the reading yesterday when I was doing my readings about spring blessings, and I did a pick a pile. And oddly enough, the only queen that, because I used all the queens from this deck, and the only queen that I did not use was the Queen of Swords. But here she is. She wanted to be out in that reading, but I wasn't feeling it yesterday. I only picked the other 3 queens because I felt like they were very springy. But here she is with a message. I think it's because this message wanted to be on its own. It wanted to be, it's a very significant one for us here, for the collective that's watching me. And it has to do with healing. Yeah, you are healing some kind of generational, maybe generational trauma, generational curse or something like that. It's like you've done away with it. You've cleared this out somehow, some way. And maybe you've done it through your insight, through actually approaching it with a clear mind, maybe an open mind as well. Look at that, beautiful. Guardians of the land protection. You are protected during this time. Maybe you felt like you've been going through a harsh winter that has propelled you into healing, whether you like it or not. You maybe felt like it was out of your hands, if you will. However, this card being a number 4 makes me think of a foundation, right? So you were building a foundation of healing, of understanding of yourself. You took the winter time to do that. You have been protected all along, though. I think you're very connected to nature and animals as well. And if you're not, at the end of the day, Mother Earth is looking out for you regardless. I think is the message as well. But some of you are definitely called to the land. You want to protect, you want to see, the greenery, you want to protect animals, you want to protect just nature in general. So it protects you back. Maybe in some ways that you don't think you're being protected, because this figure here, the stag, is kind of in the background. You don't really see it, but I feel like that's one of your spirit guides back there. They might be in the shadows, but not in a scary way. I'm watching you from afar, if you will, because I think your spirit team here makes sure that you feel that you're very capable. These changes that you're doing have to come from a place of your inner knowing, or else you won't trust it. They know that about you, it seems. Interesting. Dragonfly spirit change. Yep. Without a doubt, the wheels are turning. The wheel of fortune, the wheel of karma is turning. And this time around, I think it's a beautiful message. It's turning in your favor this time around. Not that it ever wasn't, right? But I have to get this card out too, because it makes sense. Not that the wheel was ever not in your favor, but you know what? You go through cycles in life. I think you finished a cycle that was a little bit harsh, but now it's time for happiness, expansion, spirit guardian of summer, expansion. So spring and summertime are going to be very fruitful for you, quite literally. They're going to be a very happy time. Maybe a lot of change is coming up, and it makes sense. Again, the wheels is turning. And once that wheel starts turning, there's no holding it back anymore. It's like there's momentum behind you here. But you welcome it nonetheless. And it's beautiful. You're ready for this. You're ready for this change and this expansion to happen. I want to do one card to see what kind of soul lesson we're going to be focusing on. Interesting. Doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. I like how there's a little sunflower in the middle there. Maybe because, yeah, you, again, your spirit guys did touch up on that a little bit. You approach kind of like your spiritual growth and everything like that with very hands-on approach. You want to know what's going on. You value information. You value clarity, understanding of things and topics in general. But they're saying, sometimes there's a need to let magic be magic. You understand them when you need to. Don't try to at every single point in time have all the answers. The answers that you need will eventually flow into your life, if you will. Kind of trust the movement, right? And the bottom of the deck is significant too. Relationships. I'm attracted to those people who serve my highest good. I think this is what you're aligning to. We are aligning to, with the flower of life here, we're aligning to those souls. Soul family could be significant as well. That actually, it's almost like people that speak to your soul. It's not superficial. It's a very meaningful interactions that are coming. People you're meeting are going to actually hold a lot of value. You're going to see how, your match in a way. It doesn't have to be necessarily romantic. It's just in general. Maybe throughout this the winter or the healing point, you've kind of hermited a bit, or kind of kept to yourself a lot. Now it's time for expansion. It's quite literally here. Change and expansion. It's time for you to make those new connections, meaningful, powerful, valuable connections. Not just for you and the receiving end, but for that other person. It's like a give and take. It's a very harmonious time that's coming up here. Very yin and yang, very complementary of each other. All right. Because we have a new moon tomorrow, I also wanted to pull some moonology and see what's going on. The new moon tomorrow is in Aries because we're starting an Aries season. We're going to start an Aries season. Happy birthday to those Aries. Oh, interesting. Balance spirituality and practicality, full moon in Pisces. We just had a full moon in Pisces. Okay, so it seems that you guys did this. You actually took advantage of the full moon in Pisces and you actually accomplished this. Interesting that this will fly out. I'm putting it back because I want to pick the card, but this is like a little side message here. You've accomplished this. This came out of my full moon in Pisces reading when I did that reading. So let's see. All right. The cards keep wanting to fly out, but I just want to get one. See what the moon has to say to us this time around here. Yeah, there it is. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon and Capricorn. Of course, that is literally what we are talking about here. What we have been talking about. Getting out of a very, very little bit of a harsh time here. Not just a little, a lot of a harsh time. But you're getting through it. You have gotten through it, I have to say. It's not an if, it's more of it's happening. It's just now the dust is settling, but things are moving again. With this spring equinox, with the springtime and summertime is significant too. Look at that. Water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. This is a beautiful card. Springtime is calling you to do this, to very much tend to yourself, nourish yourself. You deserve it, I'm hearing as well. You have gone through a lot of healing, maybe the tough cycle itself, and now there's just beauty and bliss, milk and honey trying to come into your life, and it's time to allow it. Allow the change. Spirit is all around you too. You are very connected to the spirit realm. We just have guardians all around, the bear, the stag, and then the fact that we have the dragonfly, it's very much spirit inclined to me. I just keep seeing spirit. And then the birds are messengers. There's so much magic all around you. I remember, soul plan, the fated life bears to the destiny life. This is what this feels like here. You unlocking something, you remembering something. I don't know if you can tell, but it looks like there's a hand on her shoulder here. That's almost like your ancestors, what I was talking about. It's like you're very well taken care of, okay? Very protected, very much looked out for is what I want to say. Okay, I want to get one more card from here. Ooh. Just one, maybe this one. Your life as a canvas, artist, manifestation, creative accountability. there you are at the precipice of something big here. It's almost like you hold the key, you put out your hand and you make the world, uh, you transform the world around you into what you need it to be. You're very powerful in that sense. Maybe you dream things into being, you create things into being, quite literally. They're also asking you to tap into your creative energy. If you believe in a creator, when you are creating, you are very much tapped into the creator's energy, God energy, the universe. Everything around at this time is it's about creation, though. That makes sense. Springtime, everything's coming alive, if you will. And then again, I go back to that co-creation thing. There's a need to co-create with the energies, with the magic that's all around you. Your spirit guides want to co-create with you, your ancestors, Mother Earth, the the magic around at this time, springtime, wants to be in the mix as well. Wow, just beautiful energy. Okay, and then I'm going to do, let's do one of the animal spirit, and I actually want to read from the book. Let's see what comes out here. For springtime. Also, if you see this animal, whether it's like in person or in like social media in a video or whatever it might be, if it comes to your awareness in any kind of way, I want you to think that this ties back to this reading. It's extra confirmation for you, okay? All right, let me get one card. The fox. Interesting enough, I was seeing a fox in my mind's eye. Earth energy as well. I love the fox. Very spiritually connected, very intelligent. So if you see a fox, it's tying you back to this, okay? Tying you back to whatever kind of resonated here for you. It's resonating for you, I should say. All right. Let's read about the fox. Okay, smart, strong partner or mate, wise teacher. When in balance, magical, ingenious teacher and monogamous. When out of balance, sneaky, unsure of their identity. To bring into balance partnership and connection, which is quite literally what your spirit team, if you want to just call everybody that's here in this reading, because there's so many energies, they're trying to guide you towards exactly that connection, relationship, meaningful partnerships, whether that is in friendship, in business, in a romantic way. They're trying to really get you to step out of your bubble in order to kind of align to meaningful connections here. Okay. The fox is an enchanting creature with plenty of mystique to go around. For fox personalities are skillful in business and also make great teachers. They're quick to learn and adapt well to new situations. Foxes are ideal life partners as they commit to a relationship for a long term, and their natural charisma keeps things exciting. Fox energy helps us stay true to those most dear to us. When this card appears, connect to those you love. Foxes don't do well when they slip away. I think the energy in the reading is also about how spiritually you're very much cared for and you're very much loved. your ancestors are also here to tell you that they support you and they love you. Like I said, the energy of spring is all around you as well, trying to give you a lot of love and support. But they're also, again, goes back to, they're also saying, we support you and you can draw that love, unconditional love from us. But there's also people out here. There is soul family, incarnative soul family, that are, you're waiting for them and they're waiting for you, kind of to cross paths, to be in each other's lives so you can make your life a little bit better. There's just a lot of unconditional love that it's being offered here, from spirit in general, right? From all the energies, like I said, but also they want you to branch out, if you will. Step out of your comfort zone. It's time for you to be seen, time for things to change. It's happening regardless. I don't think you're fighting this, okay? It's more of, they're letting you know that the conditions are in place. The foundation for all of this has been set, and this is what's coming up for you. Very meaningful connections are coming up for you, quite literally. So that fox card is beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna do some of the flower messages, and then I'm gonna pull one of the oracles, the unicorn oracles. So let's see what advice we have here. Ooh, okay. Everlasting Daisy, fortitude, be brave and dig deep. Okay. Ooh, another one. Words of love, speak with your heart. Of course. I think you guys already do that, but you're being reminded that that's one of your superpowers here, okay? You speak from the heart, from the soul. I think you're very much authentic and very honest. And you've been working towards that as well. Oh, peace. Be calm and calm will come. Beautiful. I'm going to do one more. Ooh, look at that. Spirituality. It's time to connect with what you believe. Yeah. Once you get these truths, once you unlock this knowledge of yours, that it's kind of like you're tapping into it. It's like you're activating your DNA or something. It's very interesting, very mythical, very woo woo. Maybe in woo woo in the sense of like we don't have any understanding of this yet, right? Just like people didn't in the past didn't understand how DNA was passed down from mother and father to child, and how it actually looks under a microscope. And if you kind of had this knowledge and you told it to someone in the past, they would have thought that was magic, that was voodoo, that was taboo, or you're a witch, if you will, right? It's almost like what you're unlocking here could be, in a sense, you're could be a little bit ahead of your time. Like magic is something that we just have not understood yet completely. However, it doesn't take away from the fact that it still feels magical, right? It's wondrous. You're unlocking something here, or you have, and it's just going to help you live a better life. Okay, the springtime is very promising, and I love it. All right, so the bottom of the deck is, I think, is significant. Grounding. The beginning is where you need to be. So maybe you're being called to ground, especially since this is a lot of air energy. We have air and water. So we have a lot going on in the heart and a lot going on in the mind. You're being called to ground that energy. And how you do that is by, I think, taking care of yourself. Again, it's kind of like she's grounding. She's like in nature, looking at a pond of water, but also like kind of like meditative. She's out in nature as well. This is very nature oriented. The fox, quite literally, is earth energy. Maybe there's a need to ground in order for you to fully integrate all of this that you've been receiving, everything that you've kind of been uncovering, or getting hints about, or in general, everything that you know to be true at this moment in time, especially when it comes to your spiritual path, maybe some spiritual gifts of yours, ground that energy to kind of solidify it. It's the perfect time for that as well. It's the perfect time, springtime, to plant those new seeds, if you will. If you want to think of grounding as you planting those seeds of knowledge and letting them later on like prosper and bloom, perfect time for that. Okay. All right. Last card here. Let's see what the unicorns have to tell us. Ooh. I love it. Awareness. Live in the moment. Be cautious of your thoughts. Look for signs and guidance. Yeah. If that doesn't tie in the reading, I don't know what does. And then I'll show you the bottom of the deck too. But awareness, yeah. I feel like you get so much information. You're connected to so many energies. You could also be very sensitive to everything around you. Just I don't know if you see it, but I'm seeing it. There's so much here. There's so much. But at the same time, it's like you have the power to connect to all of it without losing your mind, if you will. You're capable of tapping into all of this, gaining information, and from every aspect that's out here, every energy that's out here. But they're also saying ground, stay in the moment, live in the moment, be cautious of your thoughts in the sense of sometimes your thoughts maybe run away from you a little bit. Hone them back in, kind of concentrate on the matter at hand, whatever you're trying to accomplish here. Again, that seed that you're trying to plant and make into something, or kind of focus on that. And then, just allow the signs and synchronicities to also be like a guiding energy, if you will. And then the bottom of the deck is flow. Find an easier path forward. Surrender the outcome. Release your expectations. This ties into very much to me about the soul lesson, which is doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. If you stay in the energy of flow, if you're just kind of allowing all of these energies to prepare you forward, you allow the wheel to turn. It's sometimes you're down, sometimes you're up, sometimes you're sideways. It's okay. Releasing the expectations, or releasing the how, the when, the who, the why, it's going to help you as well. It's going to aid in this process of growth that's happening here. It's not just growth, it's like a bloom. You're about to bloom into existence, or you're blooming into something different than what you were. Or you were dormant, but you're about to like expand in some kind of way. All right. I'm leaving it here. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you got some confirmation, or sign synchronicities, anything that you needed from this reading. Happy spring. Happy rest of the year. Technically, this is the astrological new year, so happy new year. I have no doubt in my mind that you will accomplish any goal that you set your mind to, especially when it pertains to your growth and your spiritual path, which I feel you're very much involved, and it's like you're engulfed in it. It is beautiful. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you in the next reading.